Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Second Wednesday in our quarantine here in the part of the world that I live in. I'm in New York. Where are you guys at? And I wanted to do a video today about the thing that you guys asked me the most about, which is fat loss, and whether or not this is a good time to be focusing on fat loss while you're in quarantine. And there's a couple different opinions here, but I'm going to share my opinion and sort of like what to think about when you're thinking about this for yourself. On the one hand, you might have unique opportunities, more opportunities to work out from home. By the way, I'm sharing tons of home workout videos. Make sure you check it out on Instagram. I'm putting it on my feed and in my stories and everything. So they're there for you. They're free. So go check it out if you would like another resource for home workouts. But fat loss, I've talked to you guys before, isn't about workouts so much. Exercise is actually not a very effective tool for fat loss. It certainly can be part of the equation, and it should be. It's very good for us. It's very healthy for us. I'm a big proponent of working out. However, it is not the best tool for fat loss. The thing about fat loss is that it comes down to bringing in more energy than you're using up. It comes down to your nutrition. It comes down to what you're eating, how often. Mostly, it comes down to how much you're eating. So yes, work out because it's good for you and it's gonna, kind of keep your mind happy and your body happy. But when it comes to fat loss, if this is a goal that you want to pursue while you're in quarantine, then you need to be paying attention to what you're eating and how much you're eating. Another thing to be considering is you're probably moving around less than usual, even if you're still working out. For argument's sake, even if you're working out every single day, if you used to work out every single day and you're still working out every single day, you're probably still moving less, because I think a lot of times we discount all of that movement that we were doing before, the hustling and bustling and, picking up the kids or walking through the office or, through the parking lots when we rushed to the stores to do this or do that. We used to move around a lot more when we were leaving our house. It's going to be a rare case that you're moving as much or more now than you were prior. The only example I could think of is if you didn't work out before and now you're using this opportunity as an opportunity to start working out, then you might actually be moving your body more than you were before. Other than that, most of us are actually moving around less, especially all that non-exercise activity thermogenesis, it's called, NEAT, N-E-A-T. So all of that moving, all of that shuffling around, all of that, the exercise that you're doing when you're not actually thinking that you're doing exercise, if that makes sense. So if you're moving less, you're using up less calories, you need to be taking in less, right? So we've got that aspect to think about. If fat loss is a goal of yours, you need to be taking in less than you're burning, and you're probably burning less than you were prior, which means you overall have to probably bring in a little bit less than you were even before that, okay? What else makes this tricky? Well, there's a whole lot of emotional stress eating going on. I've seen all the memes. I've talked to people. I know what's going on. Emotional stress eating is going to be through the roof right now. We don't have the same outlets we used to have, the same connections with other people. We are not able to be distracted by all of the outside stuff that we might have used to use in place of food. And so food is going to take the place for a lot of people. People who were emotionally and stress eating before may be doing it more now, and people who weren't turning to food before might be turning to food more right now. So that's definitely going to be an issue that's sort of working against you if you're trying to lose some body fat. The other thing is that groceries are a bit hard to get our hands on. I actually have been waking up the last 3 nights in a row. I set my alarm for 1 a.m. Because I heard that they released new time slots for grocery deliveries around that time. And the first 2 nights it didn't work out. Last night it seems to have worked. So we'll see if it shows up in a couple of days at my doorstep. But all that to say, it's been hard to get groceries. We've been trying to avoid the stores. I'm hearing that you can go to stores and still find plenty of things. Maybe not all of the same things that you used to, but enough. But if you're in my boat where we've been trying to avoid public at all, we're trying to do our part here. And so I've been trying to do it through ordering. You're going to be limited. You're not going to have the same access to your fresh produce and things like that that you used to get before. What that means is people are buying more shelf-stable things. which you can certainly do in a healthy way. Check out my video from last week. I shared some of our staples that we're using for meals and snacks. Also, I will post in the comments, if you don't know already, I created a free recipe book. I felt like I wanted to help in some way. 20 healthy quarantine recipes. It's using mostly non-perishable items to make healthy meals and snacks for you and your family. So I'll post that link in the comments as well. But it's definitely easy to grab, Oreos because they're in the store, or you ordered them and they're shelf stable, right? There are a lot of things that are not considered healthy that can sit in your pantry forever. So I have a feeling, although I don't know this for sure, but I have a feeling that people are sort of moving away from maybe some of the healthier items because they can't get them. They don't have the same access to them, and we got to replace it with something, right? And so they're replacing it maybe with some less healthy options. And it's not that we can't ever have those things if we want it, but when we have them in our house and we're in a high stress situation and we're stuck at home and not going anywhere, what's going to happen? We're probably going to overeat, binge eat on those things. They're in the house anyway, right? So that might be what's going on. So those are some things to consider when you are stuck in your home and fat loss is a goal. Now, do I recommend, my initial question here was, do I recommend fat loss for this time period? The surprising answer might be that for most people, I don't recommend you pursuing this goal. The exception would be if you are handling your stress okay, and you are sort of looking for silver linings, and we're all beat down by this a bit, but if you're feeling beat down by this but also ready to stand back up and you really want to make the best of this time, if that's sort of your attitude, go for it. Absolutely go for it. If you are sleeping pretty well, recovering, like you're pretty much in a good groove, you're pretty healthy, then go for it. But for most people, if they're super stressed out, your cortisol levels are really high, those are your stress hormones, that's one of your stress hormones, trying to lose body fat is not going to be the best option for you, because believe it or not, when we are in a calorie deficit, which is what we need to do to lose body fat, it actually adds a little bit of extra stress on top of us. So if we're not sleeping well and we already have our cortisol through the roof, we're still in this fight or flight thing for the last couple of weeks, then it's not going to be a good time to be cutting back on your calories, okay? This might be a good time maybe for maintenance. It doesn't mean that you have to feel like you're out of control and all of a sudden, going in the opposite direction of your goals by any stretch of the imagination. But maybe this would be a good time to just aim for maintenance in terms of your body fat percentage. And then when things open up again, the world opens up again, and we're able to get out there and your stress comes back down, you're feeling a little bit better, or maybe even in a week or two, when you sort of get used to the new routine and you feel your stress coming down, that might be a good opportunity to then revisit your fat loss goals at that time. So in general, most people, this is not going to be a great time for fat loss. Just work on maintenance. Just work on trying to control those binge eating moments, the emotional eating moments, by delaying your gratification. Let me know if you need, I've done videos on that in the past. And by distracting yourself with other things that are more adaptive, more in line with what you want to do. Go read a book, go for a walk, things like that. We need outlets to get out our stress. So by pretending that we're not stressed, that's not going to help us in any way. But by saying I am stressed, and instead of using food as my tool, I'm going to go for a run, or I'm going to call up a friend, or I'm going to go take a bath, or I'm going to read a book, by choosing something else in place of it, but not denying it, that's how you're going to be able to start to get over the emotional eating. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. In general, fat loss, probably not the best idea for most people right now in this moment. Think about that when you're not so stressed. If you are in that small percentage of people who are like, I got this, you're going strong, you're ready, go ahead. Go for the goal, and let me know if you have any questions so I can help you out. I know there's going to be some interesting things that come up that are different than usual during this time. So feel free to message me or leave a comment at any time. Hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.